All right, what's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into my channel. My name is Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. Today is June 20th, 2024. It's 11:24 p.m. where I'm at right now, late at night. I still got more work to do. As you know, I'm an English teacher, so I'm out here grinding it out. But I wanted to come on live for at least for an hour to chop it up with the people, see if anybody wanted to come on stream, ask some questions, and just generally get informed, because I'm going to be reading some news stories like I usually do on my live stream, and also just shooting the shit, like whatever comes off the top of my head. But, you know, firstly, I want to get out the way, man. I've been vexed. I've been stressed. Man, these goddamn Peruvians are killing me, bro. Like everybody has tough days on their job, but I feel like, you know, like I've been going through a lot of stuff. And I think one of my biggest problems is that I overload myself with work way too much. Many times I say, I can do this, I can do this, I can find time to do this, I can crunch it all into a schedule, because I'm just trying to, you know, I'm on a paper chase right now. I'm trying to pay for my own tuition, you know, keep the lights on, keep the roof over my head, make sure that everything's straight. And it's so hard to carry like the world on your shoulders and not crumble sometimes, you feel me? So with all that pressure on me, sometimes I feel like I overwork myself and put too much pressure on myself sometimes. And yeah, man, it makes me so vexed sometimes that people don't see the hard work that I do, the effort that I put in, and they don't appreciate it, man. And that's one of the things about being an English teacher or doing anything where you're trying to like give back to people. A lot of the times they don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in to trying to make something great. You feel me? And that's what I'm trying to do with this channel. That's what I'm trying to do with my life in general. That's what I try to do every time I come to class. Every time I do anything, I always give 110%. Even if it looks like I'm cool, I'm chilling, I realize that I'm doing something great, something impactful, something important. And these goddamn Peruvians, they don't get it. They don't get it. But it's okay. I know this because they come from a third world failed nation. All right. Andre Kip said, salute from Amsterdam, bro. Salute to Amsterdam. I don't know how to say hello in Dutch, but hallo. Welcome. Thanks for being here. All right. Kelly Keegan said, femboys, for or against? If a boy wants to be feminine, I guess it's okay with me. I mean, live your life, be feminine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know. Like, I'm not attracted to men or men who dress up in a feminine way, if that's what you're implying. But anything that people decide to do with their life, that's okay. I don't know. I have no problem with the LGBTQ barbecue community. I got no problem with the gays. I love the gays. Okay. Anyway, man, let's talk about Kendrick. Man. So last night, the Pop Out Kenny show with friends or whatever in LA was insane. We were all streaming it. We were all going live. We were all just hyped for it, and it lived up to expectations and more. Like if you saw the concert in whether you were streaming it or whether you were there in person, you were turned up to the max, because it felt like one of those like historic concert events. Like it felt like Jadakiss versus Dipset. You know what I mean? Kelly Keegan said BBL Drizzy. Like I tuned in when Mustard went to the stage. I don't know if they played BBL Drizzy, but if they should have played the BBL Drizzy beat. Like at the very end, like when Kendrick was leaving, just have the crowd just say BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. That would have been great. That would have been absolutely great. But the way Kendrick brought out Not Like Us totally caught me off guard, with Dr. Dre doing the psst, I see dead people. I did not see that coming. I thought Mustard fat ass was gonna fall from the ceiling and then the beat was gonna drop when his belly hit the ground or something. But it was absolutely insane how they did it. I am still shocked though. By the way, my guy Zex jumped in here. I believe that's a Russian flag. So, man, how do you say hello in Russian? I forgot. I'll just say Bravo. Kelly Keegan said, I'm going to pass on this body like John Stockton. Hey, the hardest line, though. I'm going to lean on these niggas like another line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me, and I'm going to send it up to Pac. Hey, the whole crowd was turning up. They were singing it word for word. It was hella disrespectful when Kendrick was swimming in the A minor. I don't know if y'all caught that. When the crowd was saying, like, the crowd said... It's probably A minor, and Kendrick went into Matrix mode. He was like, That was hella disrespectful. I know Drake was up there like punching the air, punching the air. Kelly Keegan said, "Sweet chin music and I won't pass the ox. Yes, all eyes on me and I'ma set it up to Pac." Hey. How many of these shits do I got in stock? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Oh God, he was killing it, killing it. Family Rivera Gonzalez said, "Hi. Hola, wherever you are, Family Rivera Gonzalez." Shout out to everybody who's tuning in right now, man. But the Kung Fu Kenny show, the Kendrick Lamar show was absolutely fantastic. It couldn't have gone better. I really would have liked to see Game there. I really would have liked to see Snoop there. But I really feel like Game and Snoop are no longer gang. Or there's some friction between Kendrick and Snoop and Game because of, you know, Game being like too close to Drake by dissing Rick Ross on behalf of Drake, you know, just to do it like out of nowhere. And Rick Ross didn't even reply, making Game look hella lame. And then also Snoop Dogg, I think is not cool with Kendrick no more because Snoop had to give the approval, most likely, for the tailor-made freestyle. So anyway, Kelly Keegan says, Slava Ukraina. Oh, God. All right, Zex might get mad about the Slava Ukraine. But Zex says, Mike Tyson. Was Mike Tyson in the crowd at the Kung Fu Kenny show? Family Rivera Gonzalez says, can you sing? I can sing BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. Ooh, ooh, BBL Drizzy. That's all I can say. I can't hold notes. Snoop votes for Trump. He fell off. Hey, that's a big fact. I don't know if he's voting for Trump, but Snoop, like a lot of celebrities right now, is like on the Trump wave because they just, you know, because Biden doesn't feel like he's there. And when we do see Biden, he seems like a walking corpse. You know, he seems like a zombie. And that's why I think Snoop and a lot of rappers are like, maybe Trump ain't that bad because Biden is up here forgetting his own last name. You get me? So, yeah. Dan Foster Wallace says, Kendrick raps like he's about to free the slaves. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Dan Foster Wallace, that's pretty funny. I wish Drake did what Drake should have done. If Kendrick was going to have his concert, he should have tore up Toronto. Like, Drake should have had his concert in Toronto to combat because Drake, this is the problem. Drake is not giving his fans anything to rally around. Because Drake still got some diehard fans. Yeah, even if you want to call them freaky ass N-words. Academics is compromised, whatever you want to say. Drake still got diehard fans. You don't be on top for 10, 15 years. And nobody got love for you for real. You know what I mean? Kelly Keegan said, Drake ain't a colleague, he's a colonizer. He might be a colonizer in America, but in Canada, he the man. In Canada, he the man. All right? Zek said, bro, seriously, Ukraine and Russia are friends? I don't know if friends shoot each other and kill each other. That don't sound very friendly. But this is the thing. Drake needs to give his fans something to rally around, like how Kendrick is doing. Because Kendrick put the whole West Coast on his back. He brought out every single West Coast rapper, people you ain't never heard of before. Lil Boogie. Like, Boogie is on stage. He got Tyler, the Creator, jumping out before Roddy Ricch on stage. Like, you get what I'm saying? Kelly Keegan said 3 words, Wagwan Delilah. This is the thing. Drake is like trolling right now and acting very unbothered, but it is working against him, honestly. And if I were Drake, I would be doing everything to just be back on road in front of people, showing that you're not scared to be outside. Now, he's doing that, like posting up pictures like with his son and his father, like going like duck hunting in Mississippi or whatever, like on his Instagram. But yeah, Kelly Keegan says, I'm so cheesed. I still don't know what cheesed means. I didn't even look it up. I didn't do the Rap Genius for a lot of the lyrics for the later disses. Or even when Euphoria dropped and talking about, are you cheesing, fam? What does cheesed mean? Somebody explains. What about Drake and Kendrick? Are they friends? Zex is funny. Zex, you're a funny dude. No, Drake and Kendrick are far from friends. Drake is Kendrick's son. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I feel like Kelly Keegan might be Nelson Moreno. My guy Nelson Moreno is gone. I don't know where he went, but anyway, shout out to Kelly Keegan and everybody here. But yeah, Drake needs to be doing some shows. He needs to put together like Toronto and Friends, Toronto crew, like bring out the 6, like have an OVO festival like sooner every month. You know what I mean? Because he needs to not drop new music. Drake doesn't need to drop new music, but he needs to do what Kendrick is doing, which is being in front of the people and at least having the people that mess with you have a place to gather around. You get what I'm saying? And I am not a Drake fan. People are going to say he a fan, he a fan, he a fan. I am not a super Drake fan or anything. I'm just thinking strategically about what Drake should do in this situation. So what would have been excellent, what would have been almost like a semi-versus is if, okay, Kendrick, you're going to do the Pop Out Kenny show and you're going to bring every West Coast rapper. I'm going to do a big-ass concert in Toronto, downtown, and it's just me on stage. Or I bring out all the OVO and everybody else who I've ever brought a hit for who still rocks with me on stage, and I go for an hour, 2 hours straight while you're doing your concert live streaming, and then the people are going to be divided on which concert to watch. Because even if you don't rock with Drake, you are going to tune in. Even if you don't rock with Kendrick, even if you're not a big Kendrick fan, but you're a hip hop fan, you were tuning into the Pop Out Kenny show. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, Kelly Keegan says, nah, I'm some white boy from Vermont. Shout out to Vermont. I really want to visit Vermont. I know that sounds wild, but I love Bernie Sanders. So I just want to see what is in the water that can make a white man good in America. And I feel like the only good water that white people drink in America has to come from Vermont, New Hampshire, Washington, Oregon, to at least not be crazy white supremacist rednecks like how I grew up with in Louisiana. You get what I'm saying? Like whatever the white folks are drinking in Maine, Connecticut, I know what they're drinking. What they're actually drinking are bachelor's degrees. They're drinking liquefied bachelor's degrees, something that they don't have in Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, et cetera, right? But anyway, shout out to Vermont. Dan Foster Wallace says, Drake has reason to be concerned. A man was shot outside his house by crazed fans. That's true. I mean, Drake might not want to be like really outside. He might not really want to go to Oakland because there are some crazed fans out there riding with Kendrick and really calling Drake a pedophile and a colonizer and all sorts of stuff. So there are some people out there that will take what Kendrick said very seriously. And this is why hip hop is the most powerful art form, because people live and die by these words. So there is a reason. I understand where you're coming from, Dan, that Drake might not want to come outside. You feel me? But I think he should at least have a concert. He should at least have a concert, or should have had a concert to compete with Kenny's show. But I've been on Team Kendrick since Section 80 came out. Kelly Keegan said, okay, Kelly Keegan might be my age. Kelly Keegan might be my age because I remember when Section 80 dropped out. I was either a sophomore or a freshman in university when Section 80 came out, and we were jamming that all semester. I forgot most of the songs, but definitely Section 80 was my generation's music. All right. Kelly Keegan said he's 33. I'm 33 too. So we're the same generation. All right. So Bernie is my man, say Kelly. All right. We got some Bernie bros in here. Vermont is pretty anti-racist. There are definitely racists here, but in general, it's an accepting vibe. I heard back in the day in Vermont, they used to have like hippie colonies, and like rich trust fund white girls would go to Vermont to live in the hippie colonies. All right. Avery Adams says, bro, listen, man, we're over here talking the Pop Out Kenny show, how great it was, and what Drake needs to do to get back on and fight back. I know Avery is going to start saying he a fan, he a fan. I am not a fan. I'm just saying that. Drake should have done a concert. Drake should have dropped a mixtape. Hell, Drake should have dropped an album out of nowhere. I know he got a hard drive full of OVO Sweatshop B-sides. I know he got a CD, an MP3 player, an iPhone full of songs that he could just drop at any moment. He should have done something to combat what Pop Out Kenny did last night. He shouldn't have went gator hunting with his pops and his son in Mississippi or Tennessee, wherever he posted up that horrible picture of Father's Day. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, Kelly Keegan said, all my life I want money and power, respect, mind or die from lead shower. I believe that's high power. That's high power, right? Anyway, I just was reminded, or I just found out. I can't really reconcile, but did y'all remember that the high power thing that Kendrick was doing was actually like Schoolboy Q's thing? Oh, that's Backseat Freestyle. Okay. My favorite Kendrick album, I want y'all to guess. What do y'all think is my favorite Kendrick album? I want y'all to guess what y'all think. Bro, you're talking so fast. I only stand the words Kendrick, Drake, and Toronto. Zex, I mean, this is an English YouTube channel. I don't know what you want me to say. What shall I say to make you understand my English? Do I need to speak in Russian accent? I can't do that. Hey, Kelly Keegan said to pimp a butterfly. Of course. Of course. Y'all got me. That was too easy, right? That was too easy. Anyway. Yeah, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I sent up a tweet last night on my Twitter. By the way, y'all follow me. All right? Su Bonito, say that, said Pedro Cordero. Shout out to Pedro Cordero. All right, well, anyway, I sent up a tweet last night about my guy, Aaron the Plumber. Y'all know the guy, Aaron the Plumber? He's going viral. Aaron the Plumber. I'm going to flip my picture around. Pedro Cordero said, my boy. Yes, Su Bonito. I think that means beautiful or something like that. Y'all know this guy, Aaron the Plumber? He went viral because he was dissing all those girls on the pop-up balloon show. I sent out a tweet last night basically saying black women, no, I didn't even put black women in it because I love black women and I'm not a part of that red pill community stuff, but women or people online trying to destroy this guy Aaron's life because he went on the show and dissed people. So now they're calling up his job and getting him fired. You get what I'm saying? Not cool. Not cool at all. Before I continue, I'm going to jump into the comments. Avery said, Drake is cooked. The lyrics in the Heart Part 6 are very troubling. I'm too famous for the shit you suggested. If I was fucking with young girls, I swear I would be arrested. Yeah, Heart Part 6 is corny. Heart Part 6 is corny. Like, at this point, there's no track he could drop. There is no track Drake could drop to get him over Not Like Us or even Euphoria or 616 in LA. That ship has sailed. But what Drake needs to do is give his fans something to rally around. He needs to lay his flag on some territory to say this is our land or this is our spot. And at least you can never knock this off because my core fans, because Drake does have core fans, they will rally around that. That's the only thing that's saving him because right now it seems like he's just letting everything fly by the wayside. All right? Kelly Keegan says, Kendrick has no bad records, but To Pimp a Butterfly is a masterpiece. Does he have no bad records? I feel like that unreleased album, you know, the album that he put out with all the songs having like the names of the dates when they were recorded. I feel like that was a bad album. All right. But yeah, Aaron the Plumber getting roasted so bad. They hating low key. Yeah. So continuing on to Aaron, right? This guy right here, I feel like it's absolutely not cool what's happening to him. Like, when I watched the video, I was expecting for Aaron to be like saying, oh, you bitch this or you hoe that or like calling the women out of their names. He wasn't doing any of that really. Like, you know, one girl popped her balloon before he even walked on set. Now, maybe she saw him from the side or before we saw him on camera or whatever, but wasn't cool like how they were like talking to him and treating him. Like they were treating him like he's a scrub. And just to be frank, like no Diddy, the man looks like he kind of got his stuff together. You know, he's well built. He looks like he works out, exercises, you feel me? He said that he works as a plumber, which is a very respectable career. Like no shade to the plumbers, no shade to the carpenters, no shade to the electricians, the roofer guys, whatever, right? He looks like a decent guy. You know what I mean? And I've been watching a few videos about Aaron on a few other channels, and it seemed like Aaron used to be in the streets. He used to gangbang, and I believe he's from California, so that's a real thing that he escaped. I salute any black man trying to turn his life around and, you know, do better for himself. And, you know, dating is hard, and I don't know why anybody would want to go on one of these type shows and really think you're going to meet somebody serious, to be honest. Like, let's keep it real. All these girls are there trying to get their IG followers up. They're trying to get their clout up. They're just trying to get their name out there. I really doubt these women are coming here seriously trying to consider the men that are on the show. You feel me? So I don't know why Aaron did that. Maybe he wanted clout too. And in fact, he said that when he posted up an image saying, oh, this is what I get for trying to chase clout. They got me fired from my job. But yeah, when I watched the video, he wasn't saying anything crazy. Aaron was not going off on these girls. Like this girl said, I don't like the way, you know, you look or something. And he said, well, the feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual. If I tell somebody I'm not attracted to you and you're ugly or you're not my type, that person has the right to say to me, well, the feeling's mutual. It's the same. I don't like bald head black boys with a big mouth. You feel me? Like, whatever. Like, people need to learn how to like take criticisms and let it roll off their back, especially in the dating game, because it's hard out here for everybody, and everybody's got unrealistic standards too. And man, this makes me miss Kevin Samuels low key, because even though I disagree with Kevin Samuels about some things, and Kevin Samuels, I believe, was wrong about a few of his how can I say this, diagnoses on modern dating and relationships. One thing I believe Kevin Samuels got right is that everybody sort of gets what they qualify for. That's what when I was listening to Kevin Samuels, when he really first blew up, even when he was only getting like 100,000, 500,000 views per video, I remember this lesson from Kevin Samuels. If you look a certain way, if you have a certain amount of money, if you have a certain standing in life, you are only going to qualify for, or you're only going to get the type of people that match your level and status, right? Generally in life. Of course, there are outliers. Of course, there are things that are, extreme. But I'll just say this. As a man who makes, 30,000, 40,000 a year, I'm 5'7", 200 pounds, fairly educated, well-traveled, whatever. I'm going to only find a woman who would fit in that range of who's looking for a man like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I got from Kevin. Anyway, I'm going to read the comments here. Avery Adams said, Kevin Samuels, the godfather of the red pill community to some degree. He was a very interesting man, entertaining man, smart man. And if you follow red pill, yeah, he is the godfather, I guess. Women can't take firm and blunt criticism because they have simps up their ass lying to them. I agree to some extent, because I believe a lot of these girls, based on how they were talking, how they were dressed, and how they reacted to him giving their opinion, they had never really had a man, criticize them like that. They had never had a man to their face say, you are not the shit. You are not as hot as you say you are. So I think a lot of those women were taken aback. You know what I mean? Because we sort of talk to women with kid gloves. If you're in a relationship with somebody, with a woman, you know what words not to say to not, agitate her. And it might not even be anything, that you mean maliciously. But you know which words, which phrases, which things that you sort of dance around. If you're trying to make a point, or if you're not trying to offend her. You get what I'm saying? So making blatant statements about something is an easy way to be wrong. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, Kelly Keegan. Explain. Avery Adams says, how they reacted showed that some of them wasn't raised right. I think so to some degree, because a lot of women are followers, in my opinion. If anybody who's really been outside, you know what I mean? You might be talking to a girl and another girl will throw shade on your name. She might not even know you. Another girl can throw shade on your name, and because she does that, the girl that you're talking to, who actually does know you, might not even talk to you anymore. You get what I'm saying? Just because another girl disapproves. Women, to some degree, are social creatures more than men, and they like how can I say this? They like to fit in. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of girls from my experience, and from my understanding of women, right? Let's think about it like this. Let's think about it like this. This might make it a bit more simpler. A lot of white women won't date brothers, right? They won't date black men, not because they're racist, not because they hate black people, but it's because they want to bring a man around their friends that other women, mostly other white women, because most people have friends that are of the same race, think is attractive. And we know, because of the system of white supremacy that we live in, black people are not generally viewed as attractive as white men and white women and stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. So even if a white girl is attracted to black men, for example, she will not want to bring around a black dude to her white friends, because her white friends might say, why are you picking a black man when you could easily have a white guy? You get what I'm saying? Who might be more conventionally attractive. From my understanding. Now, it's not the same. That's not always the same, because there are some people who don't even think like that. But that's just like the most base example, if that makes sense. All right. Jumping into the comments here. Kelly Keegan said, clout chasers are going to act like clout chasers. Gender has nothing to do with it. Kelly, I don't know if Kelly, I don't know, is Kelly a woman? Because Kelly is a unisex name. Kelly, I don't mean to come across like I'm attacking the women. I think to some degree, Aaron is responsible for the situation he's in because he went clout chasing and sort of got the backlash of the internet, and the internet is unforgiving, cruel, and mean. But the women on the show, and especially Kelly, if you watch these videos, you know, what this guy said to her does not warrant this guy being, you know, fired from his job. You get what I'm saying? It does not. All right? Kelly Keegan said, when you say women are like X, that's a blanket statement. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Oh, I get what you're saying, Kelly. I get what you're saying. Oh, Kelly, I get what you're saying right here. But what I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of women, and also a lot of men who like to be followers rather than leaders. They like to follow rather be different. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say all women are like this. I just think there is some commonalities and some overlap. You get what I'm saying? All right. So Avery Adams says, everybody wants a trophy to show off. Yes, people want their partner to look good, right? People want their partner to look good and be attractive to them. There are some people who are specifically with a man or a girl because they feel better that this person is highly attractive. And there's other people who just want that person to be good looking to them. You get what I'm saying? Kelly Keegan said, on the other hand, a lot of white women want to exclusively date outside their race and vice versa. Aaron acted like a douche, definitely didn't deserve to be canceled in real life. Okay, so Kelly, I see where you're coming from. Yes, there are some women who date outside their race because that is their preference, right? But from my experience, and I'm not just talking about interracial dating. I'm talking about a lot of women, from my experience, they want to bring a guy around that other women will find attractive. It doesn't matter so much about how they feel about him. It matters what other people think about the man that they are with, right? A lot of women want to bring home or around their girlfriends or show off to the people around them that, oh, my man does this, my man has this, my man looks like this, etc., etc. There are, from my experience, a lot of women. And Kelly, tell me if I'm wrong. Kelly, please tell me if I'm wrong, because I am not pretending to be an expert on women. All right? Avery Adams says, did you see the video of his ex exposing him for their past relationship? I did see the video. It was the fat Mexican girl out of Arizona who had her titties up to her chin and her arms flapping. And oh God, I'm killing myself right now. Yeah, it was it was the Mexican girl who said that Aaron was basically like a stalker. He's crazy. There was a part of her story that didn't make sense though. There was like a part of her story that said, you know, Aaron popped up at my job or popped up at my house or something, and I told him to leave or something like that. And then, you know, later on, he was at my house and then he went out to my car to get something. I'm like, wait, bitch, what happened in between? What happened in between? So that goes to show that they had a toxic relationship where he was probably slinging some good peen on her and she was dealing with his craziness and toxicness. All right. But either way, yeah, Aaron might have been a bad dude in his past life. Aaron might have been, you know, crazy stalker guy, abusive guy, whatever. Maybe not physically abusive, but might have been, you know, one of those narcissistic blabbermouths or something like that. But he didn't deserve to get canceled for what he did. All right. So Kelly Keegan said, we agree here. I was just trying to nuance the conversation. You are making good points. All right. Thank you, Kelly. But I'm okay with people disagreeing with me as long as you know, make your argument sound. You get what I'm saying? Simon Samuels. Not Simon Samuels. All right. Aaron for sure comes up like a real toxic guy. Very toxic, I would say. He probably is on roids. I believe he's roided up. The man is probably roided up. He got his first job that where the checks have commas in them, and now he's just feeling himself. You get what I'm saying? After a lifetime of pain, probably doing time in the pen, dodged bullets, dodged Fed cases, whatever. Now he's like outside trying to live his best life, and I encourage Aaron to live his best life. You get what I'm saying? But I really hate that the internet tries to like bring people down. And this gender war stuff needs to end for real. Like the gender war has been going on online, especially in the black space, for like way too long. And I know it's easy content and clickbait because, heterosexual relations between men and women is, something that we all deal with in life, or most of us deal with in life because most of us are hetero. You get what I'm saying? And it's easy content to make, right? That's why Fresh and Fit still have a business, even though they're demonetized on YouTube, right? So the thing is, though, I feel like it's now breeding an air of toxicity being black online. Being black online and dealing with the constant gender war, dealing with, people who just want to hear black men attack black women or black women attack black men. It's starting to get very frustrating and tiring, and I'm kind of sick of it. Low key. You know what I mean? Kelly Keegan said, I'm just trying to say there are trends in behavior, but you can't say everyone's behavior is the way or that way. I agree with you. Not everyone is that way, but I just feel like there are, like you said, trends of behavior. But yeah, the thing about the gender war stuff, man, is starting to pervade everything. You get what I'm saying? And I'm sort of sick of it. And Aaron should have knew better. If he was really looking for Miss Right or even Miss Right Now, he should have just went to the club, hopped on Tinder, hopped on Hinge, went to the hookah lounge. LA it's not hard to meet women in LA if he was living out there in California or anywhere in California. You get what I'm saying? He's a good looking brother, making decent money. It wouldn't have been hard for him to find somebody that would check his boxes. He didn't have to go on a dating show. You know what I'm saying? And the sisters on the show did not look bad. There's not anybody on the show that looked bad, though Miss Pink in that pink dress back there was fire. But once again, I wish Aaron the best, and I hope that we could all, move past that thing. Anyway, I wanna read some news stories real quick. Real quick. I found this interesting story on the New York Times here about this brother who was the first black Navy SEAL. This guy right here, he recently died. And I find his story fascinating, especially, as we're coming off Juneteenth and as the fight for, black history continues, as the fight to, get justice for the wrongs done against us. It's important that we remember our ancestors right here. So we're going to talk about William Goins, the first black Navy SEAL. He died at 87 years old, and I believe he died yesterday. He died today. He either died yesterday or today, and I think it's important that we remember Bill Goins. Bill Goins, black Navy SEAL, out here in his prime doing his thing. All right, Kelly Keegan said, he was saying real out-of-pocket-ish. I want a woman to submit to me. No one wants to hear that in 2024. Some people are into that, but you can't be talking like that these days. Yeah, that is crazy. Like, there are some men that, once again, before I read William Goins' story, I want to say this, the gender war online, the red pill stuff, is starting to pervade into real life. It's one thing for it to be on the internet, we laugh at it, and then we close the computer and go about our day. It's another thing to take those sort of talking points like, women are hypergamous, all women are hypergamous, high value man, low value woman, sexual marketplace. It's weird as hell to be on a Tinder date or be out in the club talking about the sexual marketplace to women and talking about hypergamy and incels and stuff like that. It sounds real weird. That's Aaron's problem. He probably imbibed a lot of that toxic water. But anyway, let's jump into the story of William Goins, first black Navy SEAL, dies at 87. He overcame segregation at home and in the military to serve 3 tours in Vietnam as a member of the storied Special Operations Unit. Here's the brother right here once again. Let's go to Alex Williams, published in the New York Times, June 20th, 2024. William Goins, who overcame racial obstacles in his Ohio hometown, as well as in the military, before becoming the first black man to be chosen for the modern era Navy SEALs in the early 1960s, died on June 10th in Virginia Beach. He was 87 years old. Rest in power. The cause of death in a hospital was a heart attack, said Mary Goins, his wife of 58 years and only immediate survivor. Mr. Goins, who grew up in Lockland, Ohio, a Cincinnati suburb, retired from the Navy in 1987 as a Master Chief Petty Officer. In his 32 years in uniform, which included 3 tours of duty during the Vietnam War, he received several decorations, including a Bronze Star and Navy Commendation Medal. Now, here's him in his older age in a colored picture, and that's not the brother here. It's this brother here. Now, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. This is a very light-skinned brother, and we got no problem with our light-skinned brothers, because if you look throughout history, a lot of our, the people who were the first black person to do this or that, to break down doors, they were the light-skinned brothers. And it's not because, light-skinned brothers have some inherent quality that makes them better or smarter or more intelligent or anything like that. It's because of this. The white supremacists are colorist as well. They're more afraid of dark-skinned black men being in those positions of power than they are almost light, bright black men being in those positions of power. Because they look at those types of black men and say, see, you're almost there, buddy. You're almost past the finish line of being acceptable and allowed to be in the full realm of power of whiteness. Maybe one more generation of you, breeding with a light-skinned woman or a full-on white woman, and hell, your children can live just as good as us. So it's a sign of co-opting to some degree when we think about, Thurgood Marshall, Colin Powell, and all those very light-skinned brothers who reach, very high levels of power. And just like this brother right here, William Goins, he's light-skinned. I'm not attacking him for being light-skinned or anything like that. I'm just saying, if you look at history, if we look at Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, Crispus Attucks, Frederick Douglass, a lot of them were half black or very, very light-skinned or very fair-skinned. And it's because, once again, the white supremacists do take color into account. Yes, they see us all as black, but the white supremacists do look at color and see that as something to consider. Anyway, going on and continuing the story of William Goins. So after the war, he joined the Shooting Stars, the U.S. Navy parachute exhibition team, performing 640 jumps over 5 years. Mr. Goins later volunteered as a recruiter, scouting for candidates of color to join the Navy SEALs. Despite serving with distinction, he faced no shortage of barriers as a black man enlisting in 1955, about 9 years after the Navy was integrated. The Navy, quote-unquote, tracked all African Americans to go into the steward rating, which was waiting on officers, cooking for officers. He told the Cincinnati Enquirer in 2016. They tried to track me into that, but I had a guy in my hometown in Lockland who said, whatever you do, don't accept a school for stewards because all you're going to do is be a servant for officers. He avoided that fate and became an inaugural member of one of the United States military's most hallowed special operations units. The United States Navy, Sea, Air, and Land teams, as the SEALs are officially known, were established in 1962 under President John F. Kennedy as part of a buildup of the nation's special forces in light of Cold War tensions in Southeast Asia and elsewhere. A successor to the Navy's underwater demolition teams, known as Frogmen, which began operations during World War II, the SEALs are known for taking on the most daring of clandestine missions, including counter-guerrilla warfare, reconnaissance, and intelligence gathering, high-altitude parachuting, and underwater demolition. The Maritime Commandos have been mythologized in countless television shows and films like Zero Dark 30 in 2012, starring Jessica Chastain and Catherine Bigelow's Academy Award-winning recounting of the hunt for Osama bin Laden by the fabled SEAL Team 6. So here's Bill Goins in all of his glory right here. as a Navy SEAL. While eventually hailed a trailblazer, Mr. Goins faced discrimination in the early years with the Navy SEALs. Once again, shout out to this brother for overcoming obstacles. You guys know how I feel about the U.S. military. It's an imperialistic, colonialist, white supremacist force that's only meant to do harm and evil across the world. But I always, no matter what, I always salute black men who are able to overcome incredible odds and obstacles. So what Bill Goins was able to do in racist-ass America and the racist-ass military at that time to become the first person to break down that door and break down that barrier, I salute him. Even though it's wrong to be in the U.S. military, even though it's wrong to be a U.S. Navy SEAL, you're literally a hitman for the white supremacists. It's still amazing that you're able to even, it's like joining the mafia. I don't like the mafia, but if a brother was able to join La Cosa Nostra, it would be amazing. I would still be like, nigga, how did you do that? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, Bill breaking down those doors, shout out to him. But man, he had a big ass head. Man, he had a big ass head. Continuing here. So Kelly Keegan said, I did it because I was poor and need health care. Okay, shout out to Kelly. I guess she was in the military. This is the thing, man. Our country gives socialism to people who work for the government. Hell, if you're in the U.S. Army, you get free housing, free health care, vacation days, maternity leave, paternity leave, all the things that America thinks are communist. All the things America thinks is socialism. You get it in the military. And people in the military love those benefits, right? All right. Military back then aren't that different. And I was in from 2016 to 2020. That's crazy. That's crazy. So anyway, continuing here with William Goins' story. In his second year in the Navy, Mr. Goins volunteered for the notoriously grueling underwater demolition team training and was one of 14 in his class to make the cut. In 1962, he was selected as one of 40 original members of SEAL Team 2, based in Virginia Beach. He was given few specifics about what the job would entail. I remember asking this lieutenant what was our mission going to be. He said in a 2019 interview with NBC News, and he said it's too secret to talk about. Mr. Goins is widely credited as the first black member of the SEALs, although another African American, Fred Morrison, who was known as Tiz by the nickname King of the Frogmen, was awarded a Bronze Star for his heroics in the Korean War as a member of the underwater demolition team. While eventually hailed as a trailblazer, Mr. Goins faced discrimination in the early years, including from a few of his fellow SEALs, he said in a 2018 interview with the Virginian Pilot newspaper. In a state with a long history of segregation, Mr. Goins at times struggled to even find a place to unwind with his fellow SEALs. On one group excursion to a bar in nearby Norfolk, he was denied entrance until fellow team members threatened to leave. The bar relented and even set him up with free drinks. It sounds like Budapest, Hungary. This is the thing, man. People say, all right, iQuestion says, hi, Steven. I'm Steve from Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. Got love for Memphis, man. For real, for real. All right, Kelly Keegan said it definitely has problems, but at least racism is officially against the rules. It might be officially against the rules, but when you're dropping drone strike bombs on Somali villages, when, you're out there in Burkina Faso randomly shooting at people that you think are Islamic jihadists, it seems like the U.S. military still has a lot further to go with racism. All right. Bruh says, I'm from St. Louis, F Memphis. Okay, all right. We got some wars in here. None of that. We want peace. We lost Young Dolph. We lost some rappers from Memphis, from St. Louis as well. We don't want no more beef. You know what I'm saying? So Shrek West said, hey, Simon, I'm starting to lose my hair. How can I help my hair growth? If you're a white man, might as well just get the halo around. But if you're a black man, just be bald and beautiful. It's one of the few benefits of being black, man. One of the few benefits of being black. You get to be bald and beautiful. Ain't that the truth? All right. Bruh says, we have Sexy Red. Okay, I don't know if you want to claim Sexy Red. Don't you want to claim Nelly? Don't you want to claim Nelly? Don't you want to claim like A Verb before you claim Sexy Red for St. Louis? Who else is from St. Louis? I like Glorilla better than Sexy Red. And ain't Glorilla? No, Glorilla's from Memphis. Glorilla is from Memphis and Sexy Red is from St. Louis, right? All right. So, yeah. Kelly Keegan said, I was stationed near Norfolk for Eustis, Newport News, VA. Outside the base, there was a strip club next to each other, one with black dancers and another with white dancers. Welcome to the South, baby. South gonna hold it down. You know how it be. You know how it be in the South. We still living like it's 1962. We still living like it's 1962 down South. When I grew up in Louisiana, everything was segregated. Everything was segregated. Black clubs, white radio. We literally used to say, I'm listening to the black radio growing up in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was crazy down south. And the crazy thing about Virginia, Virginia is one of the few places in America where like more than like 30% of the people have like a college degree. Like Virginia is one of the most educated states in the nation, yet they still have so many like redneck, racist ass, crack ass policies. It's crazy. Anyway, Shrek West says, I pray they my real friends. If not, I'm YNW, Simon Hill. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny, man. And we were talking about the Kendrick show earlier. Do I think Gunna snitched? Yeah. I'm actually going to be writing a piece about Gunna on my main channel and uploading that video. But guys, I only got 15 minutes left with the story, so let me jump into it. So, Norfolk was really hell back in those days, said William Goins, adding, I helped integrate a lot of places, not on purpose. All right. William Harvey Goins was born on September 10th, 1936 in Dayton, Ohio, and moved to Lockland as a child. His father, who passed for white, Ain't that crazy? Listen, man, I know some white folks might say that's not a black man. I know a brother when I see one, man. I see the cheeks. I see the nose. I see the look in his eyes. I know that's a brother when I see him. You feel me? So I know a lot of white folks here in my channel are international, and they don't know the complexities about race in America. But we have some black people that are hella light skinned. Like I got people in my family that almost look white. You feel me? But they black as hell. You feel me? And yeah, a lot of black folks back in the day and still now pass for white or try to pass for white because you can get better social benefits passing for white back then and also now, right? Carrie Lake, the Republican out of Arizona, is passing for white. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Anyway, yeah. So the iQuestion says, yo, Simon, read the chat, gang. Okay, I'm reading the chat. I think Gunna snitched. Gunna snitched. Shrek West said, y'all heard the Boston Richie snitch allegations. 1090 Jake informed me. Not really keeping up with Boston. Not really keeping up with like Z-list rappers and who snitched and who's not. Because Bun B snitched and that broke my heart. I'm old school, man. I'm old school. When Bun B is getting on the stand crying and pointing fingers, rap is done. Black people, it's time we invent a new genre. It's time we invent a new genre of music because hip-hop is dead. Because I never thought in my lifetime I would see rappers having full careers being snitches. 6ix9ine was like kicking down the door. But we found out Diddy is a federal informant. Diddy has been a federal informant the entire time. Bun B getting on the stand. Bun B getting on the stand, pointing out a brother, making him get 40 years in the Texas state prison system. Are we serious right now? Like, I never thought Gunna doing like sold out concerts in Atlanta. I never thought this would happen in my lifetime where we got real snitches being like top rappers. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I did not expect this. Anyway, So Brubra says, what's your opinion on NY Drill? For example, Didi Osama. I can't really listen to New York Drill. I like 22 G's. 22 G's had a dope album. But yeah, I don't know what to say more about New York Drill. I just know that a lot of those guys are broke. I watched that video Poetic Flacco did today about New York rappers. Drill rappers are broke. But anyway. Shark West says, who is a better rapper, Kendrick or Drake? Kendrick, easy. Diddy is innocent. Where's the proof? I think the proof is on the tape where he was like kicking Cassie's head like a football. Kendrick all day, every day, says Kelly Keegan. iQuestion says, I saw you on Diddy Island. Okay, no, I was not on Diddy Island. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm continuing here. William Goins His father, who passed for white, found work in the automobile industry as well as at a pool hall, and at one point co-owned a gas station. But he sometimes lost jobs when employers found out that he was married to a black woman. William encountered discrimination firsthand as a youth. When I was growing up, I never knew there was a public swimming pool in Lockland, he told the Inquirer. We were never allowed to swim in that pool. When integration came to the area, the way I understand it, they filled the pool with rocks and gravel so nobody could swim in it. Instead, he traveled to a public pool in a nearby town that admitted African Americans for a few hours on Saturday mornings, although owners drained and refilled the pool after they left. Nevertheless, Mr. Goins remained undaunted in his goals. While at the all-black Lockland Wayne High School, he saw the 1951 World War II movie The Frogmen, starring Richard Widmark and Dana Andrews. My fate was sealed right there, he later said. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So, once again, shout out to this brother right here for overcoming so many obstacles, from not being able to swim in the pool in his own neighborhood to becoming a Navy SEAL, a kick-ass Navy SEAL. Man, you got to respect it. You got to respect it. You got to respect it. Even if you hate the U.S. military, even if you think America is an imperialist, wicked, cruel nation, it's still dope as hell to learn that this man, who could not even swim in the swimming pools in his own town, grew up to become a freaking Navy SEAL, hopping out of water, popping the chopper at Charlie. You get what I'm saying? That's wild. That's wild. Anyway, go into the comments here. I question said, they said there was a bald dude with a mustache and a goatee named Simon with a teenager on Diddy's Island. Is that true? No, that's not true. It's not true at all. I have nothing witty to say about that. No, come on, man. Don Rickles' character, you look like the first character on the list. Okay, Bruh trying to roast. Bruh trying to roast, but he not showing his face. Bruh trying to roast, and I question might be trying to roast. Okay? But listen, man. Y'all show your faces, and I'll get on that ass for real. We can roast for real, bruh. All right. So there was a recent report that a black man with the bald, shiny head with the goatee and gray polo shirt and Drake's X-ring, OVO Simon Hill. Okay, y'all trolling. Y'all roasting me right now. All right, no, I was not in an OVO, nothing like that. I got some trolls in here. My mods are in here. I can have the mods take care of y'all, but I'm going to let y'all live because I can take a joke. But, hey, all right, anyway. Let's jump right here. All right, last thing I'm going to read today. Major League Baseball came to Birmingham, Alabama, then Willie Mays died. Baseball hopes the celebration of his past in the home of one of its legends will attract more African-American athletes who are playing the sport in decreasing numbers. Now listen, I was born in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. I love playing baseball. I hate watching baseball. Willie Mays was a great baseball player, Hall of Famer. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert on sports or anything like that, but I'm just doing this story because I want to tie these two things together. All right? All right. Anyway, continuing here. So, when Willie Mays was perfecting his craft on the sand lot around Birmingham as a teenager in the 1940s, there was hardly anything bigger among the black community than baseball. Overflowing crowds of black fans packed Rickwood Field, the local ballpark, when the Birmingham Black Barons played, and on Sundays, church would let out early so worshipers could watch baseball. That is largely a bygone era. Yeah, black people ain't watching baseball no more, man. Black people, unless you count the Dominicans. I'm going to troll the Dominicans. Every Dominican I see from now on is black. I'm going to just troll Dominicans from now on. Y'all black. All right. All right, Shrek West says, Simon, why does your head look like my freshly shaved and? I don't know what and means, but it shines and glistens because this is the pussy juice of your mama on it, man. It's the pussy juice of your mama glistening in the light. Anyway, I don't think they know anything about black baseball as such, said Charlie Willis, 92, a high school teammate of Mays who played one season for the Black Barons, referring to black children in Birmingham today, because nowadays black kids don't play baseball. Major League Baseball went to Rickwood this week as a tribute to the history of the Negro Leagues, a celebration that will now encompass a memorial service for Mays, who died on Tuesday at 93. The celebration concluding on Thursday evening with a regular season game between the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals is largely about honoring the past, but it is also about looking ahead, wrestling with how to attract young African American athletes to play baseball at a time when African American representation in the sport has diminished. Here's the legend, all right? Here's the legend Willie Mays right here, right here. Man, I hope I get to live to be 87. You get me? I hope I get to live to be as old as these ancestors, man. Because the way I'm living now, I really don't think I'll make it to 45. So all the people in here trolling me like I question Shrek West, don't worry. I might not be on this earth much longer because, you know, I got a bunch of health problems. I got a bunch of issues going on with me. I might not be around much longer. So y'all get your roast off on me while you can. Y'all do all your slick talking to me. As soon as I pass on, y'all can leave all your little hate comments to me and stuff like that. But I'm going to keep going hard for as long as God gives me breath. Amen. Amen. All right. So go in here. The biggest thing. All right. Y'all talking about Simon with a transgender, Simon on Epstein Island. Y'all tripping. All right. Simon, thoughts on Travis Scott and his music? Never was a big Travis Scott fan. I can't get into it. I can't get into it's lit. I can't get into the raging and I can't feel Travis Scott. To me, he feels like the poor man's Kanye West, the middle class man's Kanye West. He's the middle class kid's Kanye West. If you did not see Kanye's rise or did not experience it, Travis Scott probably gave you that feeling. You get what I'm saying? Plus another thing, Travis Scott is like a beat thief. He's a beat thief. He's a swag thief. I don't think there's anything original about Travis, low key. So that It's Lit made me a little angry. We'll let you slide if you give us a freestyle. All right, I'll give you a freestyle. Y'all tripping. What did Jay say? I don't freestyle because the style ain't free or whatever, man. I Question says, Simon, may God bless you with a healthy life. Ameen, inshallah. So, continuing here. The biggest thing that excites me is that we are discussing baseball again in the black community, said Nelson George, a filmmaker who produced the 2022 documentary, Say Hey, Willie Mays, because let's be frank, baseball has fallen out. The generation of Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and Bob Gibson, these were all-stars and the equivalent of LeBron to any NFL player. While still broadly popular, baseball has struggled in recent years to maintain its once tight grip on the national consciousness. As football and basketball have risen, baseball's slower pace and reliance on nostalgia have threatened to make it seem less cool to young American sports fans. All right? In 1981, over 18% of major league players were black. The figure held steady until 1986 when it began to steadily decline. By 2021, almost 30% of MLB players were Latino, who can be of any race, but only 7% were African American. As a result, the sport seems more disconnected from black American audiences than in decades past. All right. So, no one can make an album like Astroworld or Rodeo. You talk shit about Travis, then you talk trash about me. Y'all tripping. Travis Scott is not that guy. Travis Scott is not that guy. Y'all tripping. Y'all really riding for Travis Scott like that? Y'all really die hard about Travis? Number one, Travis don't give an F about y'all because Travis killed his own fans. Y'all would have been at Astroworld in the concert talking about Travis help, and Travis would have said, y'all keep on raging. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? That's crazy. Y'all over here riding for Travis. Y'all over here talking about it's lit. And y'all gonna be in hell talking about it's lit because Travis let you die at that concert. Y'all tripping. Y'all really tripping. Anyway, where were we? So, Simon, do you speak Hindi? No, I don't. Do you speak Hindi? And I've got info that Simon snitched on Young Thug. Man, y'all tripping. Myself, I'm Indian, living in Harvard Engineering School. Okay, shout out to Shrek West. I'm going to university too. It ain't Harvard, but maybe I'll be an engineer there. No, not an engineer, a professor at Harvard one day. That'll be dope. Maybe not, because my YouTube will probably not allow me to get hired, probably. Anyway, do you like Future? Yeah, I like Future's music. I like Future's music. He's dope. I sort of fell off listening to him consistently, but he's dope. All right. Anyway, reflecting the decline, the Giants and Cardinals each had just one African-American player on their rosters for the game at Rickwood. Jordan Hicks, a pitcher for the Giants, and Mason Wynn, a middle infielder for the Cardinals. It's unfortunate, Hicks said in an interview. It's ironic. I don't think that's going to be a great look. Hicks, who before Thursday's game was planning to visit a local boys and girls club in Birmingham, said, I just feel like the decline of young black baseball players in general is kind of alarming in a way. Hopefully we can get them from the NBA and football and kind of drag them out of there. All right. So this is like the one black guy now playing baseball for the St. Louis Cardinals. Where my St. Louis people at? Y'all rocking with the Cardinals? I ain't even gonna lie. I want one of those Cardinals jerseys. I want a Cardinal jersey. But what is it? Mitchell and Ness? Mitchell and Ness is expensive as hell, man. I went on Mitchell and Ness to get to look up jerseys, man. Why are jerseys like $300? Ain't no reason for no goddamn shirt to be $300. For real, that's crazy. All right. iQuestion asked a funny question. He said, Simon, would you rather get pegged or snitch on someone? That's crazy. Because if I snitch on someone, I'm going to get pegged in prison. Or I'm going to be fighting to stop myself. I don't know if you guys go to this website called Chaotic. Anybody else go to Chaotic? Hold on. Anybody else go to chaotic.com? Any of y'all visit this website? I'm on this website heavy all the time. And one of the most brutal videos that they posted up recently was this Venezuelan prisoner getting raped in jail. And they show the prisoners like forcing things into his anal cavity while another prisoner is like smacking him in the face, forcing him to like give him head and stuff like that. You know, getting raped in jail. Like, I had never seen anything like that. And I'm actually like mentally scarred after looking at that. If y'all go on Chaotic, man, y'all gonna see some stuff that's actually wild. And, you know, I would never want to go to prison. And snitching and going to prison, yeah, that's gonna, man. But then if I say I would rather get pegged, that would make me gay. So I don't know how to answer that. That's a wild question. I want to be truthful and honest. I don't want to get pegged. So no, I'm going to say I don't want to get pegged. But if I snitch on someone, I'm going to have to probably die. That's the thing. It's like, would you rather get pegged or die? Like, I'm sorry I'm actually taking the question seriously here. I should be reading Willie Mays' story, but that's a wild question to ask. Wild question. Anyway, Divine Noy said, you are saying some sick stuff. Hey, I'm on another level here. This is not, happy-go-lucky YouTube. Right now, you're in trash tube right now, Divine. Divine, you're in trash tube. This is trash tube. This is the lowest tier of YouTube. Welcome to the trenches. Welcome to the gutter. Welcome to the, man, I'm telling y'all, if y'all see that video on Chaotic that they posted up yesterday, it'll make you re-question life. It'll make you re-question life. Anyway, Av Cree said, do you watch football? No, I don't watch football. I don't watch sports. I don't watch sports at all. Anyway, continuing here. So when he was a boy, he said baseball was always expensive. My mom was at times single when I was younger, but she did it. 2 kids, he continued. She would drag us around the practice. She never missed the game. For the Negro League's veterans gathered in Birmingham this week as guests of Major League Baseball, it is a time of proud remembrance against a backdrop of loss. All right. Divine World. No, I'm not speaking about my fantasy. I'm talking about what actually I saw on Chaotic. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all go, man, y'all don't know. Y'all don't be on the real internet. Y'all don't be on the dark web, man. Y'all don't be on the dark web. Y'all don't be on the subterranean parts of the internet. Y'all don't be having Tor. Y'all don't be on, y'all ain't on my level, Divine. Ain't on my level. Anyway, where was I? My mom was at times, yeah, for the Negro League veterans gathered in Birmingham this week as guests of Major League Baseball. It is a time of proud remembrance against a backdrop of loss. We were just hoping you would have something to show to people. We were involved in this thing called baseball, and that God allowed us to stay long enough to enable people to see some of what we've done," said the Reverend William H. Greason, 99, who was a teammate of Mays on the 1948 Birmingham Black Barons before entering the ministry. Greason, who went on to become the first black pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, added, "Most of the people who were living during our time and playing ball and so forth is gone. Rickwood Field, somehow both rickety and ancient and also newly polished to host a major league game, as has for many decades been a gathering place for the black community in Birmingham." Man, anybody been to Birmingham? Anybody been to Birmingham? I got to visit Birmingham, man. I went to Birmingham back in the past, man. Would like to visit again. Anyway, so jumping into the comments here. Divine says, "Have you been raped before?" No, I have not been raped. I have not been sexually assaulted. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky that in my life, a lot of people, unfortunately, got touched on. Unfortunately, when they were kids too, and I never got touched on. It's crazy. So thank God, thank God. Yeah, that's not in the Hill family. Like the Hill family, if I really think about it, nobody in the Hill family is like that creepy uncle. Nobody in the Hill family, as far as I know, was molested, abused, sexually assaulted. All right. Alv Cree says, "Have you been to prison?" I have not been to prison, thank God. And I don't want to go to prison. And I don't encourage anybody to do anything that will send you to prison. So, continuing here in the story, and I'm almost done. I'm going to wrap up this live stream soon. So if you got questions, comments, let me know. So, as a boy, Steve Brown, who is African-American, attended games with his father in the 1970s when Birmingham was home to the Oakland A's minor league team that was stocked with future big leaguers like Vida Blue, Bert Camparese, and Sal Bondo. He later worked as a concession stand at Rickwood, making pizza, and played ball there in high school. When he married, Greason presided over the ceremony. Brown, 58, is now an official and a coach with the Birmingham Metro Little League, and he brought a group of young players to Rickwood this week as part of the effort to promote black baseball in the community. Some of those efforts have been paying off. Major League Baseball recently publicized a survey showing that youth participation in the sport is growing. But Brown said that in many communities, playing baseball has become too expensive because travel teams have overtaken Little League as the path for young players to succeed. At the same time, big league teams have looked elsewhere to develop talent. Think of it. For so many years, MLB was investing in the Dominican, in the Caribbean, and we've seen how those athletes have benefited from that, he said. These dynamics are evident even within Brown's own household. My son is going to college on a football scholarship, and he's got a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, he said. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I hope baseball can make a comeback. I think baseball had its heyday in like the 80s or 90s or something. I want baseball to come back. I want, if I have a son, I would like to play baseball with him. I have fond memories of playing baseball with my dad in the backyard, at the park and stuff like that. Baseball is just a great sport. I love baseball. If I could pick any sport to be a professional athlete in, it would be baseball. You get a long career. You don't get injured. You get, tons of play time. People see your face so you can pull hose. Being a baseball player is probably really great. All right? Being a baseball player ranks. You don't even have to be tall. That's the thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could be a great baseball player and you don't have to be tall. You don't have to be tall. You don't have to be extra muscular. You just got to be skilled in the mind and fast on the feet. That's it, to be a great baseball player. Now, of course, there's other dynamics. I know somebody might watch this, later and say, baseball takes a lot more than that. But I feel like baseball is the most egalitarian American sport. And y'all don't come talking to me about football. Football is for pansies. I'm a stand on that. Football, playing soccer. I know the rest of the world loves watching Arsenal and Barcelona and Real Madrid and all that stuff. That ain't for me. That ain't for me. I bleed red, white, and blue, and I do not play football. Football is whack. All the people in here who are saying, making jokes about me being like trans or me getting raped and stuff like that. I'm sure those are people who watch football and have tampons up their gooch. Man, y'all whack. Y'all whack, for real. If you watch football, that's hella gay. Watching soccer is gay. I'm standing on business. Anyway, That's all I really had to say. Rest in peace, Willie Mays. Rest in peace, Willie Mays. Rest in peace, William Goins. Shout out to everybody who jumped into the live stream. Shout out to Av Cree, the Divine Noy. Shout out to iQuestion, Shrek West, my guy Avery Adams. Who else? Kelly Keegan. Yeah, everybody who is out here chopping it up with me. Pedro Cordero, Zex. Everybody like that. Y'all tune in next time for my next live stream. I'm going to try to go live more often, chop it up with the people, just be outside and give y'all great content. That's all I'm trying to do. And yeah, that's it.